Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Nick Shell, and some might say that I'm obsessed with hair loss, but I would say no. No, you my friend are obsessed with hair loss. That's why you're here. That's why you sought me out. I'm glad you're here. Fortunately for you, I am actually obsessed with helping you, the person who is obsessed with hair loss, because I remember what it was like to be 21 years old, noticing hairline changes, thinking, oh no, I'm going bald. How long will it be before I'm completely bald? Well, see, back when I was 21 and noticing that, YouTube didn't exist. So fortunately, your obsession can be helped with my obsession of helping you. And I'm honored to help you. Let's get to the helping, okay? So check it out. I received a comment on a video called Question and Answer. Will I go bald if that gene is only on one parent's side of the family? Comment here from Shubham Sakdeva had this to say, quote, what are you doing to preserve your hair? End quote. What am I doing to still have this much hair? I'm almost 37. How do I still have this much hair? Because believe me, I never imagined that this is what I'd look like in my mid to late 30s. I always imagined I'd be bald by 35 and noticeably balding by 30. Now it is true that on my 30th birthday, I looked up and noticed my hairline had went up further, and I finally noticed some thinning, which it had actually been going on for years leading up to that. It wasn't until my 30th birthday that I noticed it. But that was nearly 7 years ago, and I still have this much hair. So how do I still have this much hair? I'm going to narrow it down to 5 things, and it's to answer this question. So just to make sure I directly answer the question, what am I doing to preserve my hair? And I'm also really going to answer this by saying I've got 5 reasons why it appears that I've been able to preserve my hair. That's probably the best way to word this. Let's get started with number 1, and that is my DNA. I have the right DNA to still have this much hair. That's the thing you can't help. You can't help your ethnic background, your DNA. But I will say this, and this is one of my hair loss theories if you're new here. I theorize, and I talk about it a lot, that if you're of Asian descent, you're less likely to lose your hair via male pattern baldness sooner in life. If anything, you might experience diffuse thinning, but not the typical hair loss as we know it, comparatively speaking to most other men of other races. Native Americans and Asians, which I believe are ultimately the same thing, that they're related, because Native Americans came over from Asia through Alaska and so on. So my grandmother was Mexican. I took a DNA test through MyHeritage. It shows that I'm 21.6% Central American. So Central American, what you need to think of is before the Europeans discovered America. Happy Columbus Day. There were people like the Aztecs, the Incas, the Mayans, people like that who lived here for thousands of years. Those people, that's 21.6% of my DNA, which I consider to be ultimately Asian. Because those men, if you look at them, they tend not to lose their hair. They tend also not to be hairy. But I am about 3/4 European, so there you go. That's going to explain why I'm also hairy at the same time. So I've got just enough of that DNA to kind of slow things down. To put this in perspective, my mother, who is half Mexican, has 3 brothers. One is 58, 59. The other 2 are in their 60s. None of them have any hair loss. They, I guess, have Norwood ones, if that. And I can't see any thinning. One even has, and I haven't seen him in several years, but one of them has like dreadlocks. His hair just naturally is that thick and the right texture, it just grows into dreadlocks. Okay, so I'm convinced that I got just enough of that DNA to kind of slow things down despite what started here. That's what I believe, the first thing. Okay, now that we got past the thing that you can't help, let's talk about some things you potentially can. Number 2, I have been using rosemary oil on my hair every night for over 13 months. Along with the rosemary oil, I use lavender oil and I use argan oil. And I've been doing that for over 13 months. I've been talking about it regularly on my channel. You can go in my search box on my YouTube channel here and type in rosemary oil, Nick Shell, whatever. You'll find lots of stuff on that. It's very important to me that I document this so that the rest of the world can be the judge and decide whether or not it's working. But I can tell you this, if you go back to my videos to 2016, you're probably going to notice my hair looks thinner. And I've been using these oils. If you specifically want to know the recipe, you can Google my name, and I'm a blogger. you Google Nick Shell rosemary oil, hair loss. You'll see a couple different blog posts. It shares the recipe on there that you can actually look at if you're interested in that. That's number 2. Number 3 is that the shampoo that I use has those oils in it too, basically. Here's something you need to know about me. I am a rare male vegan, okay? So I am very against Big Pharma. I am very against any kind of weird chemicals in my body. I don't trust the government. I don't trust Big Pharma. No. I don't trust them. I'm a libertarian. It's a conspiracy, man. I don't trust them, okay? All right, so I'm not gonna put chemicals on or in my body. So the shampoos that I use, we go to the store, whatever's on sale, and it is plant-based, for men's hair, typically, I've noticed by default, it's going to likely contain either rosemary oil, argan oil, aloe vera, lavender, plus many others. Many of those, by default, if you take all the chemicals out of men's shampoo, you're left with a lot of those things that I just named, which go back to the same stuff I put in my hair every night. So not only do I let it soak in every night, I am also washing with it, and I take, a shower or 2 a day. So I've been doing that. And by the way, I'm not here to sell you anything, but in case you're new to this concept and you just kind of know, well, what are these shampoos? How can I get them where I'm at? Because I'm in here in Tennessee. I mean, I don't know what it's like where you are. But hopefully for your convenience, I'm putting an Amazon link in the description. So it'll show you an example of the kind of shampoo. You may not like that one, you may like another one. Or maybe you just want to look on it and read the ingredients. Maybe you don't want to buy it off the internet, but that's the kind of shampoo I use. It would be dishonest of me to leave that part out of the equation. I never intended for that to be the case, but because I'm a vegan, that's what happens. Now, quick side note, Nick, you're such a hypocrite. If you're saying that you're not here to make money, but you're putting an Amazon link, yeah, but honestly, I may make $1 a day off of those links. I make, on a bad month, $5 a day off of the videos that air on this channel anyway. So I'm making a lot more money from whatever companies are showing ads before these videos. I don't even know because I don't watch my own videos. All right, so with that being said, you can click on the link just to kind of get an idea of the kind of shampoo that I use and have been using actually for years. See, that's the thing, because I've been a vegan for almost 5 years. I'm a couple weeks away from it being, and that brings us to the next point. So we had Born with the Right DNA, we had using all these oils every night, we had the right shampoo that have those things, and then number 4 is being a vegan. Now, please know how strange this is. It's not normal for men to be vegan. It's often culturally unacceptable, especially here in America. Now, granted, veganism is rising. 6% of America is now vegan. But of that 6%, something like only 10% of that 6% is men. Why? Because especially in American culture, masculine American culture, here's what it comes down to. Man, I need a bunch of protein. You can't be no vegan. I need some protein. I need some beef, man. I need some pork, man. And what's funny about these same guys who tell me they don't get enough protein is a lot of them are overweight, and either they already have diabetes or they're pre-diabetic. So I see the irony there. But consider, I've been a vegan for almost 5 years. No meat, no eggs, no dairy for 5 years. How many men on the internet who talk about hair loss have been a vegan that long and also use rosemary oil? See, what I'm not here to tell you is, I still have this much hair because I use these oils and because I'm a vegan. I'm not here to tell you that. What I am here to tell you, if you're asking me how I still have this much hair, I'm telling you this. If I didn't do those things, I don't know what would be going on up here. Because we have to fathom that my situation's not normal. Most men are not vegan. Most men do not faithfully use all these essential oils in their hair for shampoo and night. Most men use whatever it is, whatever kind of chemical Pert Plus or Axe body spray, whatever it is, they're putting chemicals, carcinogens in their body. I'm not. That, I think, has something to do with it. I don't consume or inject this stuff in my body. I think we have to truly consider how remarkable of an example that I am. because so few men are in my situation. Vegan, only used plant-based stuff, faithfully put the right oil in my hair. Okay, lastly, number 5, and this is more of something that I do to give the appearance that I still have more hair than I do, is that I just know to have the right hairstyles. I know that if I had my hair much shorter, it would show that I'm thinning more. Now, if I buzz it off, that's one thing. But I have it 1.5 inches on top. That's kind of like the perfect shortest length to have it before I just buzz it off. I know not to be in between. I know not to comb my hair straight back or spike it up or comb it down. So it's a matter of having the right hairstyle, especially having it shorter on the sides like this. It's 1.5 inches on top, but having it short on the sides definitely helps draw the attention away from that. So I'm very grateful to have you here, especially if you're a subscriber. Welcome. This is the kind of stuff we talk about. Now, I can't tell you these are actually the reasons why, but now that you're invested, 11 minutes in this video, don't you see how peculiar and interesting it is that most men can't say the same things that I've said? To be a vegan for 5 years, to be showing that I've been using this oil for all this time. And then the shampoo thing, I've been doing that for probably 7 or 8 years as far as those essential oils, because I actually stopped eating pork and shellfish nearly a decade ago. And that's where it started with me becoming a vegan. I basically became kosher, like Jewish people or Muslim or Seventh-day Adventist. And when I did that, I stopped doing chemical stuff. So unless it was organic and all natural. So we have to consider that. I'm very much against chemicals. I'm very much in favor of all natural stuff from plants. So now you have to think to yourself, is it a coincidence? Is it just my DNA? Or are these things related to me still having this much hair? Whether you decide yes or no isn't my problem. I am only here to answer the question so that we all can think, maybe Nick Shell really is onto something.